Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning. My name is Doreen Guma, and welcome to TimetoPlay.com's Empower Half Hour, where each week one of the amazing professional resources on the Time to Play project are here to provide easy-to-implement changes to empower us in half an hour. Just to throw it out there, the schedule is first Wednesday is a health topic, second Wednesday is a happiness topic, third Wednesday is a finance have money topic, and fourth Wednesday is a work-life balance topic, because the Time to Play philosophy is you have to be happy, healthy, have money, and a work-life balance to have quality of life. And go on to TimetoPlay.com to read some amazing articles. So today we have Heidi Bernstein-Kranz. She is a professional life coach, and her specialty is divorce. And I'm going to just read this little intro about her because it's really very explanatory. So Heidi has personal and professional experience with the divorce process, and she guides her clients to feel comfortable, supported, and increasingly self-confident, which, ding, ding, let's highlight that word, because when we're looking for a relationship, I think confidence is one of the things that's really hit us, as well as during divorce situations. So good morning, Heidi.
Good morning. It's great to be here, Doreen.
Thank you so much for coming on. And we do have our Ed McMahon, Michael Waterman. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right,
Hi, Michael.
We'll have to find a different descriptive title for it then, okay? Because Michael doesn't look like Ed McMahon, but he's just the most kindest little person. Well, not little either, but he's well, fabulous. How about extraordinary? Fabulous. Okay.
Extraordinary.
So our topic today is, for us to help people find love in the new year. New year, plan for love, and we should start the new year off right. We actually have another caller. Maybe we'll get him in here. Who is this? This is Doreen. Who is this? Good morning. I'm not sure who is this.
That's
so
interesting.
We'll put them back on mute because I don't know. Maybe they just want to listen. Okay. So Heidi actually wrote a fabulous article entitled "New Year Plan for Love." So if people go on TimetoPlay.com and go under happiness and click on Heidi, you can read her article. But one of the things that she started with is that, when we are looking for love, we get pushed towards physical attraction, availability. What happens to be, people who are pursuing us are pushed towards any other number of potential loves that involve no forethought. And, what we're going to talk about is her envision and here on creating a plan to find our love. So let's start, Heidi. How do we start?
Yeah, sure. So this is a topic that's very dear to my heart and has really enlightened many clients and workshop participants in how to pursue love successfully. So it always amazes me how we approach every aspect of our lives with a well-thought-out plan. Everything from our careers to our education to our parenting, even our vacations are planned out to the letter of the law. But somehow with our love lives, we approach it with no plan. And we just kind of get pulled along with the current, as you began to explain to our listeners. So with no plan, we just get pulled to physical attraction or pulled to availability or pulled to whoever might be pursuing us at that moment. And then we end up in a relationship which ends up to be a bad relationship, and we're wondering, how did we get here? Well, we got here because we approached it without a plan. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to really put that plan into effect so we don't get to that place where we're wondering, how did we ever land here?
That's so interesting. So that's the same way I think we approach not just a love relationship, but a friendship or all these other things. Like there might be just something that drew us to that person in the first place, but maybe they are not, like people that are not really what we're needing to make us a whole person.
Yes,
so
that's a great point, Doreen. Very insightful. It's not this plan doesn't necessarily have to be used only for intimate romantic relationships. It's a great blueprint for the relationships in our lives.
It's very interesting because, like, one of the things that I just personally for this year, there are people that make me feel bad when I'm with them or after I leave them. And my goal for this year is to remove myself from those situations because, you know what, life is too short to feel bad and to be in a situation where you shouldn't be.
Absolutely.
So what is the first step for us in this endeavor of trying to find Mr. or Mrs. Right or a great friend?
Yes. So the first thing we want to do is literally construct a list. And I really recommend that it's a written list because there's tremendous power in the written word. And this list is comprised of our must-have traits in the person who we are looking for. And these must be in place, and if they're not in place, they're deal breakers. So the catch is this cannot be a long laundry list of every detail of the person because that will lead us nowhere. We want about 5 or 6 core qualities that we're looking for, and we want these to be, in place 5 or 10 years from now when we think about what we want to put on that list. Ideally, that's what we want to have, kind of looking into the future. And one important part of the list would be what kind of a relationship am I looking for? And is it a deal breaker if the other person is not looking for the same kind? So am I looking for marriage? Am I looking for a long-term relationship with cohabitation? Am I looking for companionship? Am I looking to have intimacy and companionship and a close relationship but not live together? We want to be looking for someone who wants the same type of relationship. And then we want to be real clear about the rest of the traits and qualities that we're looking for. And there's no judgment on the list. It's whatever is truly important to you.
Here's a question. Now, we might know what type of relationship that somebody's looking for. That's pretty easy. Like, if you want to get married, if you want a partner, if you want, companionship, if you want somebody to travel with. But how do you know what is a must-have? Because truly, in our society, do you not feel that we're very visual, perhaps, and we're looking for somebody with a certain look, and we might pass up somebody? Like, seriously, when I was first dating, I looked for blonde hair, blue eyes. That was what I was looking for, and maybe that was superficial. And my husband is dark-haired and dark eyes. How do we identify what is a must-have without that type of thing?
You bring up a great point that many of my clients struggle with. And, first of all, when I talk about this list, it does not in any way discount that intangible quality of chemistry between people. We're still, of course, looking for that, but we don't want to just be pulled to that. So on your list, I recommend that you don't really have more than one of the qualities that addresses the way the person looks physically. You might just have one of your must-have qualities is physical attraction. And so that doesn't limit you to a specific look, and that's something that might evolve when the other traits are in place. Again, we want to approach the list with what is going to be in place 5 and 10 years from now. So the way a person looks right now may not be the way they look 5 and 10 years from now. And part of the exercise of constructing this list is really getting us away from that focus on just the superficial, because it's human nature. We all do focus there, and it's okay. But if we're forced to sit down and write this list, we must think about what else is really important to us. So we're going to take our previous life experience and we're going to, incorporate that into the must-have list. And since life coaching is always a spin to the positive, we really want to write on that list what we do want rather than what we don't want. So we don't want a list of, I don't want someone like this and someone like that. It's what you really, truly are seeking, what brings you fulfillment and happiness in your relationship.
Michael, do you have anything to throw in there? Because I know that you're awful quiet on your side.
I'm quiet because
You're
I'm
Quiet.
listening.
Okay.
But
good.
also,
So
I agree that there should be a list. But you also have to think about what are they looking for, too. As a person who's been in the dating pool in and out, taking a dip, relationships, too, are two-sided things. Do you not agree?
Absolutely.
So you have to look into yourself, too, and say, what am I offering the dating public? What is it that I have that people are going to want?
Yeah. Michael, I wish more people were kind of more focused in what you're talking about than in what they are seeking. And I'm going to really kind of jump to one of the really important points about this list because you're bringing it out so beautifully now, and that is, what is the best way to find the person with the qualities that you are listing? Here's the answer. Be your list. So if you're looking for somebody kind and caring and considerate, be kind, caring, and considerate. And if you're looking for someone honest, be honest. And even to the more superficial qualities, okay? If you're looking for someone in good shape, be in good shape. If you're looking for someone with a good job, have one, okay? Because like attracts like, and that is how you will best attract exactly your list, is to be it.
that's phenomenal. My goodness. Not for anything, but that's the first time I've ever heard it put that way.
Yeah.
You guys are darn good. So one of the things I wanted to just go back on, and then we'll go back to this, is the list of the life experience and the reflection of life experience, which I guess kind of really ties into this because let's say you love to exercise and you are seeking a person who hates to exercise, or if you love to go boating and you're seeking a person that hates to go boating. And one thing that I've seen which caused a lot of conflicts in people that I've known is when you have a person who is like a sports fanatic and you hate sports. So now you're being resentful because that person is participating in a passion that they have. So how can you direct a person? Because I think that exactly what you and Michael are talking about, be your list, is kind of really tied into this life experience piece, because at some point, and especially maybe perhaps if you're coming out of a divorce and you're talking also about, don't make the list, I don't want, because now you're maybe reflecting on your previous relationship. Like, how do you kind of find your way through this part?
So shared interests are really important in a relationship. But again, you don't want to have your entire list kind of all of your hobbies and interests that you're looking for someone who shares them, and that's all of your 5 qualities. You might want to think about, maybe a particular hobby or interest that's of great significance and meaning to you. And then you want to think about, is it a must-have for your partner to share that interest? And if it is, then by all means have it on the list. But maybe it's just that you want to be accepted and respected for your love of this particular activity, and you want to have the freedom to pursue it, and you don't necessarily need to pursue it with your intimate partner. So these are aspects that you want to evaluate. And it also brings me to another really important point about the list and how it's kind of easy to keep it short and sweet and not turn it into a laundry list. And that is, you can have a secondary list of qualities or traits or interests that you prefer that you would like to see, and that you may be even disappointed if those are not in place. So maybe you would really love to have somebody who enjoys running.
I'm sorry.
Maybe you would love to have somebody who enjoys running, but it's not a must-have. It's something that you'd like to have. So it's not a deal breaker if that's not in place. Did you want to say something, Michael? I'm sorry.
Yes. Don't you think also it's important that you have on that list social activities, things you can do with your partner that are fun or of interest to both of you, or things you can do that, give you more insight into who that person really is?
Absolutely. So again, you want to evaluate for yourself, what is it that's super important to you that you want to share? Or maybe you're just real flexible about it, and on your list you could just have that the two of you will develop, shared activities and interests together. It's up to the individual, and so it's your list. And it's whatever is important to you, and that's what's wonderful about it. And everybody's list is going to look different, and everybody's list is personal. They don't necessarily have to share it. I'm not sure if that answers the question.
I think it pretty much
was
pretty well. Yeah, no, there's two things I definitely want to go into. We do want to touch back on that secondary list. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's not forget that. Yeah. But the person I was talking to you about before we started, we've recently been speaking about where to find places for people to meet each other. And, it's funny, you hear about the people that go to, like, Home Depot and, like, ask people questions, or the food shopping, that's pretty funny. But, like I had suggested, like, if you have a super hobby that you love, if you love to do painting, if you love to do bowling or something, what if you were to go and participate and join those type of organizations in order to find somebody? Like, where would you say to a person versus them going to a bar? Because not necessarily are the people at a bar looking for a long-term relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, how do you embark on where to even go to start to meet somebody that, is online dating the right place? Or
so
I've had a lot of success with online dating. I found, especially I won't mention, but there's a few sites where they'll ask you your lifestyle, they ask you your age, they ask you your likes and dislikes and your activities and things, and it's there. And the good thing is you have that list done. People can see that and your picture and where you live, and, there's a compatibility test on many of them. And I find that, there's questions that match up that say, well, I like Chinese food, you like Chinese food, I like traveling, those kind of things, which makes life a little easier, I found.
Yes. Online dating is, a tremendously effective tool, and I do a lot of coaching with clients to really maximize success there. And this kind of love with a plan can really work effectively in conjunction with Internet dating, because you want to really figure out who is a potential partner for you really early on before you waste a lot of energy and kind of burn out from a lot of bad dates with the wrong people. And by staying true to your plan, you can really weed out people in the first few conversations. And I'm a big advocate for staying open-minded and real open to different people. That's why I want the must-have list to be real short. But you're always having it in mind and going back to it. So that speaks a little bit to the Internet dating, which is a wonderful, effective tool. But, Doreen, you were talking about where else can people meet, and I think you threw out some wonderful suggestions. If you have an interest and a passion, certainly go pursue it, and then as a byproduct, you're going to meet people, like-minded people who are into the same things. And one of the most effective ways of meeting people is pursuing a volunteer venture or something of that sort, where you're really going to be, working passionately on a project together, and as a byproduct, maybe meeting somebody really fabulous who's working right alongside you, or maybe meeting a friend right alongside you who has somebody fabulous to introduce you to when they see who you truly are. So
that's a product of the heart. You're doing something from your heart, and that's an amazing thing. And I know people that's happened to. We have friends in the fire department, and they had met through volunteering at the fire department, and there you go. I guess that is a very good point.
Yeah.
That's a really great point. And that person has got a compassion that they're wanting to help somebody. I like that idea very much.
So
definitely.
So compassion would be a great quality to put on your list. So you might have some activity interests on your list. But as Michael brought out, on Internet dating, people list their interests, and you don't need to necessarily include those on your 5 must-haves. It might not be that in 5 or 10 years you have to have somebody who does boating, but it might have to be in 5 or 10 years that you have somebody who has compassion. And then you want to really define for yourself what does compassion mean to you, because it means something different to every person who says that word. It's very general. And the other part of being successful with this plan, and it's real important, aside from being true to your must-haves, is, and here's the real kicker that people find to be very challenging, and that is you must be flexible about all other traits that are not on your must-have list. And, that takes sometimes work and coaching and talking because, there are going to be traits that are going to come across in any relationship which are disappointing to us. And that's okay, because we want to accept our partner as a total package with their strengths and weaknesses and everything that is wonderful and terrific about them. And also with the drawbacks, the stuff that we wish was different, but that doesn't make us bolt and run because our must-haves are in place. So we want to have the must-haves in place in conjunction with tremendous commitment to flexibility on all other traits that come up.
That's great advice. I want to throw out there your contact info, which truly is available on TimetoPlay.com. If you go to happiness, you look for Heidi. She's right there, and her contact information is right there. You can also ask Heidi a question on the TimetoPlay.com website. But where is the best, and I want you to discuss the Love with a Plan teleclass that you're going to be doing as well.
Sure. So, any questions that come up, please feel free to shoot me an email anytime at CoachHeidiK@gmail.com. My website is www.reinventionlifecoaching.com. That's all one word. Feel free to friend me on Facebook at Heidi Bernstein Krantz, and, that's a little bit more of a personal interaction back and forth. And please join me for my upcoming teleclass. I'm so excited about Love with a Plan. We can really get into it in more detail, specifically tailored to your needs and your plan. And I'm going to be hosting that on January 29th at 7:30, and you can register by email with me, and you can call in from the comfort of your home or office or any other convenient location, and we can really get into the nitty-gritty of this plan together.
I think that's very important, and, hopefully people that do listen to this will sign up if they feel that this would be helpful for them. We have to take the first step. We can talk, we could complain, we can self-pity, but we have to take the first step. The change is going to come from taking an action, and, I hope that people will, start and make some type of a change. It's very important.
2013, it's a great time to start doing something different. Change it up. If it hasn't been working before, let's change it up. Let's work on it together.
You bet. You bet. Absolutely. So did you want to just touch back on that secondary list one more time just so that people can know, it's very important to have those primary traits and then have those extras. We have like 5 minutes left. So
sure. So, on your, would prefer list or would like to have or wish list, whatever you'd like to call it, you can keep filling in that list, and it can be as long as you like. And each time you add a trait, you really want to quietly evaluate for yourself. Again, thinking 5 and 10 years down the line. Does my partner need to have this trait? Is it a deal breaker if not? Or is it just something that I would really like and I would really enjoy, but it's something that I could live without? And is it something that I can be flexible about? But I'll still be looking out for it. Now, how will we be looking out for these traits? Aside from being the list, which will naturally draw people with similar traits to us, how else can we find these traits that we're looking for? And the first way may sound simple, but it's really by asking open-ended questions early on with people and truly listening to the answers. So you can find so much out about a person by just listening. We have to want to hear it and see it because we have to want to be true to our plan. If we're already pulled by the current to physical attraction or to, whatever else pulls us, we may not want to really hear that they don't have the traits that we seek. But if we open our eyes and ears and listen, we will find out. So simple questions like, how did you spend your weekend, or what did you do on your last vacation, are going to fill you with a lot of information. So if, for example, one of the traits that you're looking for is family-mindedness, you want to be listening to who this person is spending their time with. Are you hearing family members? Now, certainly if during one weekend they weren't with family members, that's not going to tell you much, but you're going to be listening for pattern. And certainly it takes a long time to know for sure if your potential partner has the traits on your list, but the key word is, do they potentially have the qualities on your list? Or are you hearing answers that are pointing to the fact that they are really very far from those traits? So asking open-ended questions and listening, truly listening carefully to your answers is going to give you the information more so than asking a question like, are you family-minded? Because in that case, people are going to naturally kind of tell you what you want to hear, but what you want to hear is really what their daily life is like.
Sounds perfect. And we have our takeaways for today is to make our list and make sure that, we put on there the things that are most important for us so we can have our plan to begin with and to be your list, which, my goodness, thank you, Michael, for putting it that way. I think that that's fabulous. And I just wanted to remind everybody that each week one of the professional resources on the Time to Play project joins us to provide tips to empower us. And the goal of TimetoPlay.com is to encourage people to take their life back. The Time to Play philosophy is you have to be happy, healthy, have money, and a work-life balance to enjoy your life. And we are here to provide resources for you so you can have a better life. And I do really want to thank Coach Heidi for joining us and Michael, of course, for joining us. And is there one last words, takeaways for anybody else that wants to throw something out there?
Pleasure to be here. Really had a great time and appreciate it. And just want to put the thought out there, you can create the life that you desire for yourself. You can bring the love into your life that you desire. You just need to approach it with a positive attitude and a plan. It can happen for you.
I love it. Such a good way to end our morning. Michael, any last words?
Just, Heidi, it was a pleasure talking to you. And thank you for your words of wisdom.
Same here. Thank you.
Absolutely. Very, very excellent. And, if this helps you, please share it with others. You just send them the link. And I wish everybody a lot of love in the year of 2013. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.